Hello, Miss V. Miss
Hello,
Courage.
hello.
Miss Courage. There are not too many people who would do this particular interview. So my hat's off to her.
I
So
don't know if it's courage or ignorance. I
no,
don't
no, you know
know.
it's courage. You know it's very difficult. We are going to and shout out to Erik, my love. I
I
love
love
you
you,
much.
mommy.
Oh, sometimes he would call me mommy, actually, and that's so sweet. So we're going to interview the Reptilians or a spokesperson from the Reptilians. And um, I told poor Miss V, it's like, what's the worst can happen? I mean, you're an eternal being. I mean, so they suck the soul out of your crown chakra. Do you have any of their energy around? Do you have a spokesperson?
You know, I am always in complete transparency, full-blown honesty. I knew a couple of days ago you talked about the reptilians. Now, I want to be clear. I don't go research. I don't Google it.
You're so
I
busy
tap in.
anyway.
I tap into it.
Go
So
ahead.
my research comes from, I know the transmission is going to happen. I sit down, I bring Erik in, and we have a powwow. And I did not know and do not really know anything about the reptilians, but I do know how to distinguish their energy when a representative is here. And Erik has agreed that he would fetch, as I say to him, fetch me a representative. And he does have one. We do have one here.
All right, good. Now, so somebody, I don't know if it was somebody on the blog or Erik told me that you were the one to do this. So,
Well, you know, I wasn't going to, I wrote you that email. And I'm going, I'm scared. I'm not going to do this. And I sat down and Erik said to me, V, you're the only one that can do this. I'm like, dude.
but
So
thank
here
God,
I am.
I read the one where you said you would, because, you know.
Nobody says no to your boy. I just want to tell you.
I know. Otherwise, he will hound your ass forever. But anyway,
Right.
before we delve into that, I got an email from somebody who really, really wanted me to beg you to because you were booked up, to squeeze her in to your schedule, and of course you're booked up till November. But then you told me some really good news about your group stuff. Can you share that with the class?
Absolutely. It was given to me. I was sitting in meditation one day and the angels and my guide said, you know, V, your schedule's full. You know, I'm booked out for November. And they said, psychic conversations, have conversations with the soul of these people. So I got to work, I took dictation like I do, and I created psychic conversations. These are intimate groups, 4 people, that's it. I'm doing readings for them, and the reviews have been off the charts positive because everybody's fed from everybody else.
Yeah.
I get their guides, my guides, his guide, her guide, all the answers. You get 90 minutes with me, all 4 of you in a group, and nobody has left hungry, so to speak. So I'm very proud of them.
That's great. That's great. So, and they just go to veronicadrake.com and they'll find
Yep.
that. Right?
And it's Psychic Conversations, they're called. And you can get in with me next week.
Is
No
it
waiting.
okay if I share um, the fact that your accuracy rate, although very high, went up because of something I did?
Oh, yes. I know. I could feel the shift.
Okay. Well, so I did, because Nick had open heart surgery, I decided to do portal work on him. And I thought, we'll do it on Veronica too. And I opened up some closed portals in her home. And I don't know if I did in her energy body. I mean, you know, she's
I remember you telling me.
Okay, so it blasted open closed portals that should be open, and that's where streams of information come in, streams of consciousness, abundance, all that, creativity. And so, wow, it's just, wow, her, so it'd be good. She was already good.
Honestly, I felt a surge. And I just, until you told me, I just attributed it to, well, I was relaxing more. Nick had his surgery. And then you told me the portal work. And I was like, well, that makes perfect sense. Like,
how's he doing? Is he okay?
He's great. He's phenomenal. He just got done mowing the grass.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we'll get to, sorry, Mr. Reptilian, is a male or female?
Actually, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't make any difference. That's good. Hermaphroditic. All right. Thank you so much for agreeing to come here.
I have no better place to be.
All right. Do you have a name that we can address you by?
He says you can just call me Alcy.
Elsie, I like that name. Well, my little grandson, Easton, 4 years old, is very devastated because his iguana just passed away. I don't know
Oh,
why I'm bringing that up, but that is,
reptile.
yeah, I know, but he has water, but I think they should have put ice cubes in the water. So,
Oh.
but he's doing fine. These are questions, all of them, because I don't know anything like you, Veronica, about the reptilian alien race. And we are alien race too. Are the reptilians the same as the archons or the watchers? Someone wants to know.
We are part of that collective, yes.
Okay. Veronica, can you describe their energy? Or if you see anything, can you describe that? Give me your 2 cents.
So the energy, now I want to
And Erik, you in too, sorry.
Yep. I want to preface this with I've done my cleansing. I am highly protected. I have my Herkimer diamond. I had it on just before we came on. I did all of the protection, and I'm just like, ain't no way you're penetrating. Okay,
Good.
I got that. So with that said, when I called in this energy, it felt very cold to me, cold as in temperature,
Okay.
and dense and light at the same time, meaning when it wants to bump up to me,
Yeah.
it bumps up to me, and yet that bump doesn't, it just feels like it evaporates that quick.
Huh.
I call it breath. The breath of this entity feels warm, but its temperature feels cold. In terms of looking like, I since last night when I've been sitting and today, it looks different ways
All the
every
time.
time I look at it. So for this interview today, it has taken on a semi-human form.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm
Erik,
comfortable with it.
okay. Well, Erik or Alcy, what do you normally look like when you're on your home planet?
The projection is that we are the closest thing that you would know is an alien. We have smaller bodies and larger heads. There is no definitive shape to us that is consistent. And what is seen is, like your saying goes, in the eyes of the beholder. And so it depends on the vibrational frequency of the interaction that they're having. So Erik is interjecting here that when there is heaviness, or what we humans would call animosity, the denser, the bigger, the fuller the body and the presence gets.
Well, animosity on whose part?
If they are in any kind of situation that calls for heavy, dense, combative, perhaps anything that we would call negative energy or heavy emotional negative energy. Erik's helping me understand this because
Oh yeah.
what Alcy's saying, I don't really get, but Erik's making it human-like, so I can translate
Are you
this.
talking about the human being you're having this emotion, or the reptilian having the emotion? Or
the reptilian.
all right. Or the reptilian's head normally, is it more like a crocodile, an alligator? I mean, how would you describe it, generally speaking?
So as I'm looking at it, it looks like a big, almost like an oval, but it has a longer, I don't know, I'm going to call it a snout.
Okay, would it be like in some of the Sumerian graphics that we've seen? When
It's similar, and it could look like a crocodile head, but I can't even put it into words. If maybe I can draw it if they channel it, but I could do that later. But right now it's oval, and there's like this long place. Now, what I'm understanding is how they appear, whether it's to humans or to other reptilians or ETs.
I want to know how you look like to each other. That's what I want to know.
So in a normal circumstance where Erik's saying, let's think they're at the dinner table and everybody's having dinner with each other.
Reptilians meet at a bar. That's what I want to know.
In walks two reptilians. No, the head is oval and the snout is elongated. Okay. And I use snout. Forgive me, I don't know if that's the right word, but snout.
All right,
but it's not full on crocodile.
Okay. Do they have scales when they're at the bar?
It doesn't look like scales. It looks like roughness, but I wouldn't call it scales.
Like shark skin, or like little bumps like you would see on on a crocodile?
Bumps on a crocodile, softer though.
Was Enlil and Anki? The Anunnakis aren't reptilian, right? Are they?
No,
they're not related. Okay. All right, do they have what kind of arms and legs do they have when they're at the bar drinking mimosas?
They're by smaller in nature, in stature. Not midget smaller. God
well, how tall? Like 4 feet tall, 3 feet?
Looks to be about 4 feet, maybe 3.5 feet. It's hard to tell, but the arms are not long and the legs are very short.
Okay. Are the arms longer than the
The arms are longer than the legs.
Okay. The arms would be like 8 inches. I mean, the legs would be like 8 inches, maybe, or.
It's hard to tell because I'm visually seeing it. Maybe a foot, maybe a foot.
Are the arms like 2 feet?
If the whole body is 4 feet and you've got, and from floor to the top of their head, the highest part of them is their head. So from his throat to the bottom of his feet is where the 4 feet comes in. The head is elongated and looks taller. The head itself might be 2 feet.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So what, are they bipedal? Do they walk upright?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But make note, they can walk on all fours if they need to, but I've only seen them, and Erik is confirming, just to stay with what walks upright. I know that they walk upright.
Do they have a tail?
Not visible.
Okay.
Not visible. Like it's not one that you drag behind you.
Okay. Describe their hands and feet for me.
Webbed.
Definitely
webbed.
How many digits do they have on their hands?
They're more like amphibian. They're amphibious. They've only got 3 digits on their feet, and they've got 4 digits on their, what we would call, hands.
Do they have claws on the tips?
They call them pillars.
Pillars. Oh.
Pillars.
Or fingernails.
No, think talons.
Fake talons?
No, think talons, like talons on an eagle or a falcon.
What do they use those for?
But they retract.
Oh, do they use those for digging or prey or both?
Prey.
Okay. What do they eat? Are they carnivores, completely carnivores?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Do they spend any time in the water or any kind of liquid on their home planet?
It depends on who they are. Okay. And almost Erik is saying like what part they come from.
Oh, okay. What planet or planets or
So they don't necessarily have um, a planet, but rather a system of
oh,
planets, and they call it stars. Um,
a star system? They come from a specific star system then.
Alpha Centurion.
Oh, okay, cool.
And but wait, there's lots of pieces to that, and
Oh,
it's like you think of it like this: we call Earth a planet, they call that star system a planet. It's their home.
oh, I see. Uh, do they uh, wear any clothing at all?
It's a very, it looks like a tight fitting skin. Like I don't see clothing per se. It's a tight fitting covering and it looks like skin. I don't see genitals.
Is it or okay? Is it organic?
It's part of their makeup, their nature.
Oh, or do they have genders?
Not like we would. It's very difficult to think of this in terms of, not in terms of human, but they don't have genders like we do. And they don't, they're just so different. You know, Erik is saying, don't try to humanize them because they're
Oh
not.
no, no, of course not. That's fine.
Yeah.
Do
Um,
do they have a circulatory system and organ systems that are completely different from ours, or kind of similar?
there's nothing like us.
Oh
In
wow,
fact, in fact, um, it flows.
they do have blood though, right?
Yeah. Well, it's called serum.
Oh, okay. What color is it? I hear it's blue. It's copper based.
It looks to me like it's a yellow copper color when I see it.
Oh, like
Um,
oh, okay.
the one that I have here, and he says it's like angels in the sense that they don't have gender, but they will present to us with a gender because it
Oh, yeah.
makes it more familiar to
I
us.
so they do
I
have.
was scared when I first did this. I was asking for just something as normal as I could wrap my head around.
Yeah. But they have a copper based blood.
It looks copper based, yes. At least the person or reptile that's here.
Is that why they're called blue bloods sometimes? Because when
Um,
the air.
that's a species. That's a species.
Oh,
One of
okay.
their, yep.
How do they reproduce?
Pollination.
Oh,
They
cool.
pollinate.
All right. Do they have emotions?
Not like humans do. They think reptiles. Think
Okay, yeah.
um, the
It's
brain.
all instinct, this instinct, right?
Survival is number one to them. Okay. They aren't programmed or wired like us in terms of, oh, I love you. This feels so beautiful. Everything about a reptilian is survival, and I'm going to use the word procreation.
I gotcha.
Making more of them, replication.
Okay. What about their senses? Did they have
What?
senses?
Oh, senses. Um, yes. Yes.
Are any of them heightened more than ours? Smell, sight, all that.
Everything that happens with them happens in their central programming.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's a reason this dome is there.
They have a huge brain, I bet.
Think of it like the master computer.
Ah.
Oh, you want to smell? Oh, click, 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 click. There's a smell, right? There's no circulatory. They don't have systems like we have. Yeah. Circular, yeah, systems,
What is their strongest sense?
feelings,
Feeling, what, touch, tactile, or?
a knowing.
Oh,
And
wow.
here's the thing, they get traction in humanity because they prey on the vulnerable and the weak. And so they sense heaviness. They sense,
Oh, they know who's weak.
and weakness is, it smells like a human decaying.
Ooh, I'm going to get more into their interaction with humans and stuff for sure. Do they have eyelids?
No.
Do they have ears?
Holes.
Oh, do they have wings? Retractable or otherwise?
He puts out his arms and he's got,
Oh, I see.
I have
Hey, I
this.
got those too, man. I got them. That's why I go like this.
I have this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I shake,
Hi.
I got to do that.
It's
Or
funny.
I get myself a black eye otherwise.
It goes from the elbow to what we would know as our armpit.
Okay.
And it can come out as needed.
Okay.
So we would call them wings, but not on the back.
It's like Rocky the Flying Squirrel. Well, what do they use that for?
To move around.
To what?
To move around, to propel themselves if they want.
Okay. But on the ground, like put some skates on and
do their thing.
Roller rink.
A lot of their travel is projection. So I'm here,
really?
I project myself there, and it's almost like whoosh, they're there.
Well, like thought create reality kind of thing?
Yeah.
Are they telepathic when they communicate with one another?
They can be, but they also have a language. It's a light code. It's nothing that we would understand if we heard it. And he said there have been humans that have been able to channel our light code.
Wow. What's a bunch of clicks and stuff? Or what?
Yeah, he said he doesn't want to replicate it, but when I hear it, like, it's very choppy, fragmented, right? And it's a lot of, it would sound like ticks to us.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right. What kind of dwellings do they live on in their home planet? Do they live underground? Do they build shelters for themselves? Caves? I mean, normally.
It's a commune, and it is a series of tunnels.
Oh, okay. Do they have a hierarchy in the community, patriarchal, matriarchal, or is it like anarchy?
It's self-governed.
Okay. All right. All right, let's talk about, did they bring the dinosaurs here to Earth? Are they responsible for that?
It was an evolutionary process.
They started their race, or?
Yep. And yes, absolutely. And then again, they're taking credit for humans evolving the way that we did.
How did they get? Yeah, let's first talk about, before we get to that, tell me about their advanced technology. First of all, how long have you guys, oh no, wait, first I want to know their lifespan. How long do they live? How long do you guys live normally? I mean, average.
Well, again, this is a hard question because there's no time. You can't answer it in human years, but the answer is, it's a voluntary process. When we resign, when we retract, when we come back. And come back means to go back to what created them, which was energy, just floating, kind of non-existent.
All right, well, everything is whole and part of God, source, so you are too. correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But understand that every creation has, Erik says, bad apples or bad seeds.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And so the same is true with the reptilians.
All right. So,
Oh, go ahead.
no, you go. You go.
I'm hearing him say that reptilians prey on the weak and the vulnerable,
Yes.
and they are fed that way.
I know. I'm going to get into that for sure. So, when you resign, do you go to an afterlife that's the same as where we go?
No, no. It's like you're over here, we're over here, and we come from one creator. Everything, and this is a common thing I've heard from ETs and the tall, everything. We're all of one creator. We can take different paths, different frequencies of
Yes.
understanding life. And so what it is they go back, they're reprocessed. They're not doing a life review like
Oh, wow.
humans do. No, there's no life review. They go back, and processing for them, is, I can't understand what he's saying. Like, Erik, help me. Processing for them is not like a traditional checklist. It is, they have a very specific, and it's not to be known, agenda when
Okay.
they come.
Okay.
And so the checking off of is based on that agenda.
Okay. So they get absorbed back into source, but you know how
Absorbed.
everything is light and there's the darker part of the spectrum. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Correct.
All right. Now, how long, well, how many millions of years ago did they first arrive on Earth? Or how many hundreds of thousands? I don't know.
So here's the interesting thing. They never arrived, they always were.
Oh,
So
wow.
before
When it was just a ball of lava? What are you talking about? Wow.
So before they were what they are, before we were what we are,
Yes.
we existed in some other element, some other form.
Okay.
And so did they.
Oh, wow.
You talk about the lava, and the old Christian, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It's kind of like it goes back into. So they're saying there's never been a time when they've not. Every era, they've had a part in it. Every era.
But then the time where they helped create they hybridized with humans.
Yes. Correct.
Were they part of the, what happened there? Okay. They helped hybridize,
Well,
create the hybrid human?
Yes, but what happened is, and this is the best way to explain it.
Okay, explain, but I need to change a program on my scalar energy thing, but just keep on keeping on.
Okay.
All right.
So the best way to explain it is that.
No. I'm sorry.
You want to pause us?
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
So.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
The reptilian purpose is to constantly, I'm going to use the word reproduce, but not like a human reproduces. The reptilian wants to keep co-creating its existence, its own existence. And the reason reptilians even exist is because, and we will never as humans get away from this, because there just never has been a time without war, without struggle, without strife. And if you think of the reptilians as the throwaways, the losers of the war, on their home planet of the Alpha Centurion, there was a battle, and they were essentially, I'll use the word evicted, he's telling me.
Oh, wow.
And so
Oh, from their own
Alpha
planet?
Centurion, right.
Oh, wow.
And so this was very much in the beginning. And so as they were I'm using the word evicted, they kind of scattered and went different places. There were options for some of them to come to Earth.
Yeah.
But there's also, think of it like the gatekeeper, he says.
Yeah.
There are some that were even too toxic or too dark to come to Earth, but some of them got through. These are what we are collectively experiencing right now.
How are we experiencing that?
Through taking over of human souls.
Oh my God. What, after we transition?
What?
After we taking over our bodies, you know, what do you
Our souls are currently, right now, it's happening.
You mean
in our
I'm
world.
sitting and they could do what?
Overtake your free will. That's the most negative, heavy damage that they could do.
Could I prevent that? Or if somebody does that, can I help them through portal work?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because
we're holographic.
You ain't got nothing on me, reptilian.
We're holographic. They're different parts of us. And when we have open holes or wounds, this is how the reptilian energy gets in. And, you know, here's the thing. I've not heard, and there's no confirmation from Erik or the reptilian that's here, that they take your shape and form over.
Okay.
Not what I'm talking about and what we're dealing with. More they get into your soul. You know, I want to suck the soul out of you. Yeah. That's the thing with the reptilians.
Oh, wow.
That's the thing. And the way that they get in is lower vibrational energy. So if you are not in alignment with love, and, you know, let's just say you're corrupt. Let's just throw that out there. Yeah. You're greedy, you're gluttonous, you're corrupt. You're the perfect host.
Oh my God.
For a reptilian.
That's going to be interesting, because do the reptilians derive their energy from human suffering? They do that, but also from corruption, greed, all correct?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so some people think that a lot of the world's leaders and monarchs have something to do with the reptilians. Is that true? Or we're not supposed to talk about that?
Yes, but not in a sci-fi kind of way. It's much more subtle, and your royalty isn't going to have an alligator head.
No, I know, but is this an example of where they might sometimes control the free will of a monarch or a member of the global elite, or okay? Do they?
Well, they are doing this. They are the puppet string of the global elite.
But are there any that are absolutely reptilian? And don't mention any names.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like when there's something right now, there's a force that is happening that liken it to when you turn the lights on and the cockroaches scatter.
Yeah. But see, it's too unsafe, guys, for us to mention.
But there's a force collectively that's happening right now. And it's the lights are going on.
And that's a good thing.
Oh yeah. It's a great thing.
So are there any half-breeds, human reptilians, in the Illuminati?
Oh, for sure.
That
was a definitive, absolutely.
Okay. So the Illuminati, are there any benevolent reptilians?
Well, there are, but they're not here on Earth.
Okay. Are there benevolent reptilians helping us in the war against the malevolent reptilians, even though they're not here?
I don't get a sense of that right now. We have other entities that are helping us fight the
Okay. Okay.
reptilians.
I got you.
Call it the tall whites, call it the grays.
The, yeah,
Yeah.
the Pleiadians, all that.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
Okay. Do any of you guys live in the hollow earth, the tunnels in the earth?
So let me clarify that there are two, I don't know, I want to call it strains, because that's what he keeps telling me, two strains of reptilians. There are those that live in the recesses and the literal dark, the underground, right? They're the literal. Then there are those that look and talk just like us.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I saw a question that might be a good follow-up on that one. Uh, where is it? Okay, here, maybe this is it. Which reptilian collective? There are the dark hybridized ones, and there are humanized ones we share the hologram with.
Yeah, that's what they just said.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Okay. Are most of the world leaders reptilian? Oh, just give a percent. No. What percent maybe? Less than 10%? I mean,
maybe 5, maybe 4. Very small, but a small but mighty percentage.
Oh, all right. Okay. So, oh yeah. Okay, so is it true that you take humans for food? I think you have a penchant for children. Is that true?
So when we talk food as a human, we get sustenance, we get nourishment, we get, it feeds our bodies and we get stronger and all of that. Their food is energy. And I can say this, the more energy that they can suck, the bigger they become, but not literal. Think of it like a supercharged ego.
Oh, okay.
Somebody who is so full of ego walking through life.
You're talking about.
Yeah, but that's what happens to them. They get fed, the reptilians. Now, with children,
I mean, there's some story that somebody whose initials are BC actually would take children and toss them to the reptilians to devour.
I'm not getting that confirmation from this reptilian.
So
He's
no.
not telling me that. No.
Okay.
No.
Seems too far-fetched.
Mm-hmm. It's not like children are off limits when it comes to taking their free will, though.
Okay.
So, little kids, infants and toddlers, they're no good to them because they don't have that free will component yet.
They don't have the ego, the greed, the corruption.
Right.
So when you devour humans, it's not actual a literal thing? It's just
we're not eating them.
No. Oh, well, what do you eat?
Energy.
Wasn't there a time where all of a sudden cows were being eaten or just whatever?
We don't eat. Yeah, well, that was probably something like werewolves or something, sort of that kind of thing. Erik is telling me.
You just take energy from,
energy. Just like your car runs on gas. It's us running on your energy.
Oh, okay. All right. So, we have the human experience. We have this survival of the fittest, which is a polarity, contrast consciousness. We would love to move into the survival by collaboration, unity consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys in that?
We got banished from our home planet originally because we weren't team players.
Okay.
And most of us aren't team players. We understand conceptually the law of oneness, but we don't agree with it.
Oh, are you as a race, as a collective, trying to evolve, or having plans to evolve?
Mm-hmm. Again, we have the light side and the dark side.
Yeah.
I have somebody who's more on the dark side with me.
Yeah.
The light side of it, we're always looking to evolve. Erik says all of us as species and races, we're always looking to evolve. This entity that's here isn't necessarily evolved in enough, has enough consciousness to understand the light and the oneness, if
So
that makes sense.
is it never, ever, even slowly going to evolve?
Um, it's possible. I mean, right now, think of a toddler, a 2-year-old toddler.
I think a ninth monkey, but okay.
They want what they want when they want it.
I got it.
A toddler doesn't understand rationale or logic, nor does this right here. They must claim your soul.
Okay.
Now, they cannot claim the soul of a live human being. As long as we're alive, they can take over and influence it.
I see. Okay. That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Are there any ones that want to do good to help
Yes.
you here on Earth?
They work in coordination with the aliens, the grays, the tall whites.
Yeah.
Those.
But are they on Earth?
There's a force. They do come to Earth, but they also they're not what we would see as coming to Earth. Like,
Okay, I got you.
yeah, they don't walk among us like we would think they do.
Okay. Do they have anything? Do you guys have anything to do with human reincarnation, like the soul traveler? I don't know. Anything like that?
No, nothing.
What impact does the Rh negative or Rh? Do you have anything to do with Rh negative blood type?
Not us. Not us, he says. Not us.
It does?
Not us.
Okay. What are the Elohim? I've heard that before. Anything related to you guys?
I'm not getting anything from that.
Okay. Erik, do you know?
He says they're their own breed and species.
Any ties to the reptilians?
No.
Okay. Are the rings of Saturn part of an artificial intelligence control mechanism on humans? Or is any part of that?
Erik says no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Do you have any enemies, Alcy, as a race? Not you personally.
No. Yes.
And then one last question.
The humans, when they are at war, the person opposite of them, or the persons or the collective opposite of them, have that as their enemy. We reptilians have the person opposite of us. So one day, and he keeps referencing the aliens, one day we may go against them. They, as I'm understanding him, they lose their power if the human is benevolent and loving and a little bit assertive. Like, they do not get an in that way, and they view that as the enemy because that's a challenge to them. So they will gnaw at and try to instigate and inspire, if you will, you to come over to the other side.
Wow. Well, I got my plans using scalar energy generations to totally heal the fear-based collective and bring the vibration up, up, up. So we might be saying bye-bye to you guys.
That's the whole purpose, Erik says, of healing. That's the whole reason we're here. A soul can't fulfill itself if it doesn't heal itself.
Yeah. All right. So, So one last question, and I'll just ask if you have any messages for us. So how were you involved in the creation specifically of the human species? Did you fertilize an egg, or I mean, how? What did you do?
Are you asking how they were created?
No, how were you involved in creating the human alien hybrid, or the? I mean,
oh well, they're saying that it was the evolution. It was, you know, the gases, the masses, everything evolved, and
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
They were the first to inhabit solid ground.
Okay. All right. I'm going to mute this, but I'm going to ask, do you have any messages, Elsie, for us as human race, or any warnings? And then mute. Oh, wait, I mute it like this.
The only way that we can grow and take over is if you allow us. And so if you are protective of your energy and you are strong in knowing who you are, it's a very difficult job that we have.
Pretty cool. Erik and Miss V, do you have any questions?
Erik agreed to do this with me, but he doesn't want humanity to get preoccupied with reptilians because that feeds them.
Yes, and now we've got a plan anyway, right, Erik?
Absolutely.
We're gonna get rid of the fear. We're gonna get rid of the fear.
Absolutely.
In the collective, slowly but surely.
Yep. So that's it.
Great. And you guys remember, check out veronicadrake.com and look into her, what's the name of the group?
Psychic Conversations.
Yes, Psychic Conversation. I mean, God, conversations. It sounds wonderful. What an opportunity. You know, you don't have
waiting
till December.
I want to say though that this was probably one of the toughest that I've ever done with you.
Wow. And you did such a great job. It didn't seem like it seemed so easy for you.
I felt like I had a lump in my throat, and I feel like I just need to go take a shower.
Oh my God. Himalayan salt bath, girl. So thank you, Elsie, for coming and doing your thing. And probably wasn't that easy for you either. So I really appreciate you. And I love you, Erik. I love you, Miss V. Go to veronicadrake.com, people.
Take care.
And thank you for having such courage. Love you.